Hi, so we had an opportunity to visit artist Lester Gonzalez today. This is his dwelling, and in the back, this is Jeff McGrath right here. Jeff McGrath. Behind you, behind Jeff, is a painting? Is that a painting, Lester?
I think so.
Okay.
There's some paint on it. It started with some paint.
Okay. Well, you can't see Lester right now because I'm not showing you, but you can see his painting. See this one right here. See this colors. So what's going on in this painting, Lester? Just colors?
I started by using sprayed colors and gradient fields and tones and stuff that I generated digitally or with sprays or with paint. And then I cut them out and manipulated them over the scanner bed while it was scanning. So then you're also getting the light breakdown of some of the strokes and marks. So it's kind of, a mix of a physical practice and a digital practice, so that in the end, I don't even know if I should call it a painting or not, but it did involve some paint, but it also is sort of a photographic process. The interesting thing is that they're never exactly the same. If I tried to do this one again, I just couldn't do this one again. So it has that sort of one-off quality of painting as well. But it's a photographic way of dealing with pigment. And pigment, because some of it is digitally printed.
It's really cool. What do you think about this, Jeff?
I think it's beautiful. You get close to it.
Do you see anything in it, Jeff?
I see my own shadow.
Okay, that's cool.
If I tell you the name, will you see it in?
Maybe.
Sleeping Coyote.
That's Becca in the background, right there. Becca, say hi.
Hi. Becca is not a painting.
Becca is not a painting. No. All right, Lester. Let's take a look at what else you got. You got these smiley faces right here.
Yeah, this is a.
These seem very uplifting.
Oh, before we do this, I just want to show everybody what Lester Gonzalez look like. This is Lester Gonzalez. Lester, tell us, tell me a little bit about yourself. What's going on? How long you been in Baltimore City?
I've been in Baltimore since 2001.
2001.
I remember seeing Lester in Baltimore in 2001. So this is
2001?
true. I think
Were you working with Micah?
I think I remember seeing you when I worked at Micah.
I might have. I think I might have seen you for a while before I actually met you.
Right, likewise.
Micah is the art school.
Yeah.
Art school here.
Yeah, and then Lester had many bands and stuff that I would see, and etc.
So Lester, after art school in Baltimore, continue to just like release and dish out his artistic vision.
Yes.
In multiple different disciplines.
Yeah, I got out of Micah, and I guess at that point people were playing music a lot around town, and they were good friends, and seemed like a really good opportunity to see a lot of interesting places. And I did sort of have more of an interest in playing music, and then followed that for a while until, it got financially really difficult to sort of be on the road all the time and lose money and come back and have to like recoup again. And at the same time, I missed having a studio practice.
But I'm looking at studio practice right here, right now in front of us. Do you think that, did you ever see your music practice and your fine art practice inform one another?
Not so much. I think some of the writing in the songs and some of the approaches that I work with musically sometimes do sort of involve a similar experimentation with the techniques and stuff like that. But not very much, I don't think.
I think it's important that we pause for a second and just point over here, Andrew. And even though we're talking about young Lester, not young Lester, but if it were Lester, even though it's Lester, it would be backwards of this.
When I was a kid in Cuba, the guy that sat next to me was named Lester.
That's confusing.
And so Lester and Lester sat next to each other.
My dad was one of 3 Jim McGraths in his kindergarten class. It's true.
So Lester, what about these? What's going on here?
This is part of a series that I started in 2012 where I started cutting out the faces of the thank you bags because I thought they might be something I could manipulate in a way that sort of referenced the way I work digitally. On the computer, you can sort of just smudge something very easily. But I also wanted to try it physically, and I thought this would be a good place to start with something as graphic as you might find on a computer. but also have the physical capability of like stretching it and distorting it. And I started just experimenting with it with an iron. And the first few that I made in 2012 were really fun. And then I experimented a little bit more with it, but then I didn't get to them for a while until recently somebody asked to buy a couple. And so I started to experiment with them again. So and it's been exciting because I've found a good setting on the iron that lets me transfer the ink by itself. And so sometimes I include the plastic, sometimes I don't.
But. So you cut these out from a plastic bag.
Right, exactly. There. So I've got all the bags and I cut them out and then I lay them down and really rub the back of them with an iron. These work the best, the black and yellow ones. The ink transfers a little bit more with more difficulty for the blue and yellow ones.
So cool.
But in the end, I like, I think the City Paper or somebody wrote about the 2012 ones and they said something about how they had a Goya freakishness. Like there's like Goya paintings that I guess have like distorted faces, and then I didn't see them in that light when I was making them, but afterwards it was exciting to think of them that way.
Really cool.
Like grotesque.
You imbue
take on that painting a little bit.
Yeah, imbue that into the paper.
I remember seeing
unreal
a show of yours. Where was the one with Alan Resnick and the show?
Springsteen. Bass period, yeah.
And then the show before that, a solo show at Open Space before it burned down.
Yeah, those have been my two bigger shows, I think, and
both really incredible, full really realized like big bodies of work. It seems like you change or move forward pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes have trouble pinning down a practice because I tend to get sort of antsy or bored about the processes and stuff. But I think it's just a matter of like liking some aspects of it, but not having found like a synergy of techniques and stuff that worked out to like keep my attention always. And I think with every series that I explore, they all have an arc that they work with, but they all get me excited about something that I have more of a hunch about. And by doing all these different series, I get closer and closer to it. And I think with these other new paintings, that's something that like
these ones here
I've been thinking about because it blends my illustration projects too, because I'm also an illustrator. And I like mark making with my hand, and as much as I like the look of a digital piece, I need that sort of like expressive, like hand to surface thing where you can account for random operation and things kind of like, making mistakes and that kind of thing being okay, and also it being a physical process where I can just lose myself in it and it's like meditative. And these I think have found a nice in between my digital pieces and physical.
These are aluminum, right?
Stuff. Yeah, and this is on aluminum.
And these are. So someone looking at this on a camera, it wouldn't be. I mean, so these are handmade.
These are handmade.
No computer.
No computer involved in these. And that's, I think, the direction that I want to be working on for the next year. This is, I think, what I'm going to be making for a while. Because it's sort of like, I started thinking about it one day, and it's like mostly straightaways, curves, lefts, and rights, and it's like a nice simplicity that stretches very far. And that is something that I think I've been looking for a long time in my own work, and that I have had trouble finding. And with these, I'm excited about that simplicity with like maximum output. And I was recently watching a Moreau documentary, and he had a similar sort of desire to find in his work. And so that's been really inspiring too, to see just like the arrangement of mark making as something that is that stretches beyond like culture a little bit, and everyone can enjoy it to some degree.
Yeah, I mean these are so
it's like ratios,
fundamental. Yeah.
And I think with Bass Period at Springsteen, the show I had with Alan Resnick, that stuff was very, very based on it was super deep into a concept of like how to perceive reality now that like anything can be real or confused as real, or that we tend to represent ourselves digitally more than physically. And it explored some stuff that at towards the end of it I was like, I kind of just want to explore shapes.
That's great.
And it's sort of like towards the end of that Bass Period show, talking with Pete Cullen, who wrote a really amazing in-depth article about it and interviewed us, me and Alan.
Where was that? How can you find that article?
It's on his blog. If you write Greenmount Avenue blog, art blog in Baltimore, we talked about theories that have been around forever about reality and how now we're forcing ourselves to like face them. So it got really, really dense. And one of the things that I've always strived to do is have the art speak for itself, and with that one it was a bit of a stretch because it was so dense. And so the return to a simplistic kind of like arrangement of ratios and color, textures, and that sort of thing is really appealing now.
Yeah.
Because it's something that anybody, it's democratic in a way.
Mm-hmm. Universal.
Yeah, like...
So Jeff, you just bought one of these paintings.
I did. It's hanging in my house.
These paintings are absolutely amazing. I mean, the finish, the everything about it, it's absolutely, the craftsmanship is flawless. Look at this. I thought this was what? Computer print. This is not computer print. This is hand painted. Oh my goodness. On metal too. Oh my god. So, Lester, I just how much one of these? I mean, just trying to scope it out. I mean, I'm looking at these paintings right here. These three, 4. You got 4 right here, and I'm just really, really liking the new work. This is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, this is my favorite Lester work.
Beautiful.
As of to date.
Beautiful work, and just wanted to know how much how much you how much you. I mean, if
people can visit my blog or the Tumblr or get me on Instagram or find me online.
Okay.
And,
so how do people find you? Lester, you tell people a little bit about how to get in touch with you.
You can go to LesterGonzalezAlvarez.com.
Okay.
That's sort of like the more legitimate portfolio, and then there's links to my Tumblr there, which you may find separately, and that's sort of I use as an open studio visit. Like people can go on the Tumblr and just get an up-to-date look at what I'm doing, even if it maybe doesn't have anything to do with my current series or anything.
LesterGonzalez.com.
Yeah, LesterGonzalezAlvarez.com.
LesterGonzalezAlvarez.com. Guys, this is really, really awesome. And Lester, you going down to Texas?
I am. Yeah.
Tuesday, you leaving soon?
Tuesday. Yep.
Next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Lester's gonna be in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
And so if you guys are seeing this in Austin, Texas, hit him up. Check the website, LesterGonzalezAlvarez.com. Check out the paintings. Holler at the artist. Cool. And this is Curtain Gallery. I'm Andrew, and this is who?
Jeff McGrath.
Jeff McGrath.
Wait, show them you.
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Everyone wants to know.
Guys, this is Andrew Liang.
You know this guy.
You know this guy.
You know that
Reputation
guy.
precedes him. All right, there he is.
All right.
That's all we got to say.
That's good. All right.